this is significant news. This is kind of a stealth star in the game, and he has signed a contract extension. This is first from Jeff Passan of ESPN. Cal Raleigh and the Mariners finalizing a 6-year, $105 million contract extension. Deal starts this year, buys out 3 years of free agency. Going on for more information on this, Raleigh, who had, by the way, 34 homers and 100 RBIs last year. I'll use some old school numbers, so he really filled it up. Ken Rosenthal putting out that Raleigh's deal includes a full no-trade clause. Last year, once again, 34 homers, 100 RBIs. Among current catchers since the start of 2022, Raleigh leads the position in Fangraphs WAR, which includes pitch framing. So this guy hits home runs, he frames, he hits, he plays.
He plays. I mean, it's a catcher position where we've seen so many clubs go to kind of a platoon model. He's started 135 games. Very consistent player, BK, very durable. And the thing about it, I don't think we give enough credit. Look at the improvements in their pitching staff out there. I mean, he's catching arguably one of the best starting rotations in the game. And I think a lot of that has to do because he's such a consistent presence behind home plate.
Raleigh leads the majors with over 2,100 innings caught over the last 2 seasons. And here's his last 3 years. I mean, just look at the home runs. The OPS plus 100 is league average, but he hits for power. DRS means defensive runs saved. Plus 14, plus 2, a little erratic there, plus 17. Those are elite numbers.
You know, his home runs probably in the most run-suppressed ballpark in the game. So might be a 40 home run guy in a normalized ballpark. He's a really good player. I think you said it well. Kind of a stealth signing. You know, if you look what the Mariners have done, maybe they haven't added a ton of talent outside the organization from a monetary commitment, but they've committed to their core group of players a significant amount of money, and now Cal just goes into that. And really, it's up the middle players. It's guys on the mound, back into your bullpen, center fielder, shortstop. So they're kind of building that team from the middle out.
You know, we do top 10 right now every offseason. You're part of that, Dan. And at catcher this year, number 1, William Contreras. Number 2 was Adley Rutschman. Number 3, Will Smith of the Dodgers. Number 4, Cal Raleigh. We're talking about a top 5 catcher in the sport.
He is. And again, I think different time zone. If he's back in the East Coast, I think he gets a lot more love than what he actually gets in the game. He's a really, really good player. And, you know, you want a mentally stable individual behind the plate, somebody that posts up night in, night out, and brings this sense of calmness to the team. I think he does that. I think he's really an integral part of everything that's going on in Seattle right now.
Again, 3 years of free agency. Most times you look at a club, you know, I try to study what works, what wins. Usually it's catcher and shortstop. If you get offensive production, if you get consistency there, usually teams are a little better than you think if you can get it there. And the Mariners have that.
Well, again, if you can get offensive production at the catcher position, when you're trying to put together a total WAR number, you're getting offense at a position that there's just not much offense in the game.
Again, a big extension there. Again, it might not be regarded as one of the superstars in the sport, but a very good player, and the Mariners lock him up. Other news today, you've got this coming out. Cam Smith makes the Astros opening day roster. That was from Chandler Roma, the Athletic. 22-year-old phenom, Chandler calls him, centerpiece of the Kyle Tucker trade. Played just 32 minor league games prior to his promotion. And this is him learning of the promotion.
Wow.
This guy's age 22 season, first-round pick 2 years back, 14th overall pick. He's done 3 levels last year. He had a 396 on base, slugged over 600 in only 134 plate appearances, and this is what he did in spring training.
Actually, he was the 14th round pick in overall in last year's draft. So this time last year, think about it, he was just got done with his second conference games at Florida State University.
Wow.
And now he's playing in the big leagues. And on top of it, he's making a position change from third base to right field. It's really a fascinating story. They've done this in the past with Jeremy Pena. He didn't get much minor league time, but they get a lot more time than this young man. Historically, BK, this just doesn't happen in the game. But this young man dominated the entire field. His offensive approach in spring training was line to line. He walked. He didn't strike out a ton. But, man, this is a big push for him.
And think of the Astros, again, trading away Kyle Tucker in his contract year. So they're not going to sign him long-term, but they usually flip him and they get this guy. So a lot is riding here. If Cam Smith can really deliver for the Astros immediately, then that is a tremendous sign.
And again, these are the guys that hardly got any minor league time before they got to the big leagues. Pete Incaviglia had no games. John Olerud only had 6. And now recently, Langford only had 44, Andrew Vaughn 55. And then you go back a little further with Winfield, Yount, and Molitor. So again, historically in the game, when you have that short of a list, this just doesn't happen. So I'm fascinated to see how he must be a very mature kid, and they must have seen that in spring training.
Let me just clean this up because I botched it earlier. He was selected 14th overall in last year's draft. So this is very quick to come up there. Can he possibly approximate that production of Kyle Tucker? Will this turn out to be an excellent trade?
I think in the long term, yes. Well, and you think about it, too. They've got now 6 years of control for a guy that's going to be a free agent. So if he's 50% of what Kyle has produced for him, this is a win-win right now for the Astros. And Wazinski has a chance to be their number 5 starter. So, I mean, and Paredes is their everyday third baseman. So that was a good trade for the Astros. How Cam Smith does short term, I don't think we should over-evaluate one way or the other. He's a very, very talented kid who's physically gifted enough to play right field and be be in the middle of the lineup bat.
Again, in the minors last year, 400 on base, slugged over 600. However, I'll just throw in, Kyle Tucker is one of the top stars in the sport.
No doubt.
Right? He's a monster.
That's why they need all three of those
here.
guys to be good, to equal the value of that one player.
Do you like that deal then? It's one, you're saying that's one superstar year from Kyle Tucker, but you get 6 years of production from Cam Smith. You like that deal?
Well, I think in the evolution where the Astros were at, they had lost so many other players, Correa, George Springer, without getting any value back. Their system just wasn't deep enough to sustain another hit without getting prospects back for somebody that they had made their mind up they weren't going to be able to play on the free agent market with. So I think Dana Brown did a really good job on the conditions he was in. He had no idea that Cam Smith was going to come in and dominate like this. Now we'll have to see how he handles the next stage of the big league level. This is quite a push for the young man.